Hi everyone, thank you for joining this live session today. If you're looking at studying in the UK, you are clueless, you have no idea what to do. Yes, this is the Study in the UK Life Clinic where we just Okay, I'm sorry for the break in transmission. Yeah, so welcome to our live today. If you're looking at studying in the UK, you want to study in the UK and you are clueless, you have no idea what to do. This is a Study in the UK Life Clinic session. We have every Thursday, 11 a.m., where we just give you tips. We give you all the updated information to understand what you need and how to go about studying in the UK, right? And then the thing is, you don't have to do this alone. The fact that we have this session does not mean we want you to do this alone. So here at Team Consultancy, we render an end-to-end service where we basically help you to we support you throughout all the process, right? From application down to visa application at no cost at all. Our service is 100% free. We do not have any form of service charge. So we are here to just give you all the information to keep you updated, not like we want you to go ahead and do it by yourself. We are your study abroad support system. We'll be here to support you every step of the way. All you have to do is if you check the comments, we have a link where you can book a one-on-one session with us. So when you book this one-on-one session with us, we'll be able to now support you, see what you need and what you need to know, and then we'll be able to support you. And then with the one-on-one video session, you can get connected, see who you are going to be dealing with, right? That's the whole point of the one-on-one session. So yeah, today I'll be talking about school selection and entry requirements. Because the truth is, a lot of students, it is not because you are not qualified. The reason why you miss out on opportunities is not because you are not qualified, it's just because you are not informed. It's because you don't have the right support, you don't have the right guidance. That's the reason why some of you are not like taking the opportunities that is right in front of you. But not to worry, that is why we are here. Like I said, we are your study abroad support system, right? So we are here to guide you every step on the way. So today I'm going to be starting with school selection. You want to study in the UK and you're wondering where to start from. I think the number one question that will come to your head is school. What school am I going to? So there are some key points, key things to note when you want to select your school, right? The number one is your course availability. So if you want to go to a particular school, right, you want to see if the school have that your course that you want to do. You want to know if your course is available, because the truth is we have a lot of schools in the UK, and then a lot of school they have their different courses that they offer. So the fact that school A have this course does not mean school B would have the same course, right? So you want to be sure of which school have that course you are interested in, the course you want to go for, right? So we are here to support you. So when you come to us for help, when you come to us to help you, those are the things we do. After we ask you some questions, and then what we want to do next is school recommendation. We recommend the school based on every information that we have gotten from you. So you see now that because I'm here to give you all these tips does not mean I want you to do this by yourself. But there are some people who are not exactly ready to proceed now, but you just need all this information. And this is why it is important to look out for our life clinic every Thursday. When you join in, when you tune in into our life clinic, you are going to You are going to get a lot of informations, a lot of updated information that will help you to make your decisions in the long run. So I said course availability. If a school have the course that you want to do, of course, that is, the school for you. But that's not just the only thing you're going to be looking at. Another point is your academic background. So the thing is, your academic background plays a huge role, in your selection. So when you check for the course you want and it is available, you also need to know if the academic background that you have, if it aligns with the course you want to proceed to study. So, from my experience, a lot of things I witness with students is, wanting to do a course that does not even align. So many people, so many students want to go ahead to study a particular course just because, oh, my friend wants to study this course. Oh, my dad want me to study this course, right? So you're not thinking of everything, the important things, the things that you need to look at before actually choosing the right course, before knowing the right course, the one that aligns with your academic background. Although part of the things that you might not know is that there are some courses we call conversion course. Conversion course are basically for students who wants to switch. So now you are a biology student and then you want to switch to computer science. Yes, so there is MSc Computer Science conversion course. Conversion course are designed to start from the very basics. You understand? They are designed for, even if you don't have like an academic background from this, parts, you can as well do this course because that course is designed to start from the basics. It explains everything. So we have something we call conversion course. You see why you need to join our life clinic, because I'm sure part of these things you are not aware, you don't know, right? So yeah, there are some courses we call conversion course for students who are looking to switch in almost immediately. You want to switch from the course you've been studying, you're not interested anymore, you want to switch to something totally different. So yeah, there is an option to choose conversion course. But apart from that, your academic background needs to align with the course you want to study, because that plays a huge role in choosing the particular course that you want to study. So now the next point will bring me to your budget. So what is your budget? As a student who has planned to study in the UK, I'm sure while you're planning, you already have a budget. Your parents or your sponsor has already told you, okay, this is how much we are looking at for this plan, right? So you already know what your budget is. So part of the questions we ask you again is, what is your budget? So that we can recommend a school that fits into the budget you already have. So you need to look at your budget. If you choose a school that the tuition deposit is 50%, I mean 50% of the overall tuition, and then your budget is you're looking for £4,000 deposit, that does not fit at all. These two things does not align. So you need to also look at your budget and the school you're trying to apply to. So like I said again, you don't have to do this alone. We know all of these things, and what we do best is matching you with the best option. If we have seen what your academic background look like, we know what your budget is, we can match you directly with the one that fits into your budget. And then sometimes we have issues like I want a school with £4,000, I want a school with £3,000. So what we do for our students most of the time is also to let them know that most of the time it is not about low tuition deposit school. Sometimes you need to actually look beyond a school that is low budget tuition deposits. You need to also look at the overall tuition. So imagine a school that the overall tuition is £12,000, and then the school is requesting that you pay 50%. That's £6,000. But then again, your budget is £5,000. You now got a school that is £5,000 deposit, but the overall tuition is £15,000, £17,000. You need to actually look at it very well and then make the right decision. Because at the end of the day, the fact that you are paying that deposit does not mean you're not going to pay your tuition balance, right? So as your counselor, when you come to team consultancy, we look at all of these things carefully and then advise you accordingly. Let you see these things that on a normal day, you might not be able to see these things for yourself. So we look at all these things, we let you know that, are you looking at the overall tuition, right? You can see that the overall tuition is lower, even though the tuition deposit is slightly higher than your budget. So we make you see all of these things, and then you are able to make, right and informed decision at the end of the day. So that's part of the things we do here at Team Consultancy. So I'll be talking about location of your school, right? Location of your school is also very important. For the UK, we have, outside London, in London, and then we are talking about living expenses. A lot of people know this already. Living expenses is higher in London and then lower outside London. So you already know what your budget is. You know, oh, do I really want to go for a school in London, or do I really want to go to a school outside London? When you come to us at Team Consultancy, we want to understand which one fits into, like I said, the budget you already have. If you can afford the living expenses in London or outside London, then we are able to recommend to you according to, your preference, according to everything that you want. So, like I said, this is the point where students usually need our help a lot, right? Don't forget that I said when you come to us for help, we do not have any service charge. We are not charging you for anything. We just want you to come and let us be your support system, because honestly, study abroad does not have to be hard. It does not have to be very hard. People don't need to get scammed. You don't have to make decisions blindly. So when you come to us at Team Consultancy, these are the things we do for you at no cost at all. At no cost at all. And then if you're looking at booking a session with us, like I said, there is a link in the comments where you can click on to book a one-on-one video counseling with us. A quick one, guys. Do you know that when you come to Team Consultancy, you're going to be working with British Council certified counselor? Are you aware of that? Okay. In case you are not aware, you are going to be working with British Council certified counselors. So the counselors that are very well updated, counselors that are going to guide you rightly. So yeah, that is what you get when you come to Team Consultancy. Now let's go to the entry requirements. So entry requirements for schools now. So your entry requirement, I would say, is divided into two: the academic requirements and then non-academic requirements. So basically, for the academic requirements, for an undergraduate, you need your O-level certificate, right? And then for the postgraduate student, you are going to need your BSc certificate or HND certificate, right? Those are like the major academic requirement, and of course, it comes with your transcript as well, right? So for the non-academic requirements, we are talking your SOP, we are talking your CV, reference letters, and all of that. When you come to team consultancy, we are not just giving you list of required documents. We are explaining each document to you, because yes, I've actually met students that they don't understand what is a reference letter, what is a recommendation letter, they don't know. A student, they don't know what is SOP. One thing at Team Consultancy is that we do not assume that you know. We do not assume that you're supposed to know. So we break everything down. As your counselor, what we do is explain each document to you and guide you on how to get every of these documents. So now, like I said, the academic requirements and then the non-academic requirements. So on your own, you might not know that some schools have their own SOP templates. That is the statement of purpose. You might not know that some schools have, their own, how their SOP is structured. So as your counselor, these are the things that we would explain to you. These are the things that will make you understand, right? And then when we have these right documents, when we put everything I've mentioned so far into consideration, we are sure to be able to get you an offer from the school. So one thing I've actually not mentioned again is, a lot of you think, oh, do I need English proficiency test to actually study in the UK? The answer is yes, some courses don't need English proficiency test, while some courses will need you to have your English proficiency test. I know as a Nigerian, this is not one thing we want. I mean, we all want a school that would not require you to have IELTS, and that is why you need to come to us. So I'm going to connect you, match you with a school that I know that, oh, They do not require IELTS. Your WAEC can pass. Some schools have a waiver, while some schools don't. So we know schools that, okay, your WAEC is okay for you. Some schools would request for your medium of instruction. They call it MOI, right? So MOI is a document that says the course that you studied was, was taught in English. That is what MOI means, and it comes from your institute, the school you graduated from. That is where you're going to get that document from. But on your own, there's no way you are going to know all of these details. So we know schools that accept MOI. We know schools that, okay, the only thing you need to provide is your WAEC or NECO scratch card. And then we know schools that, oh, without IELTS, this school is a no-go area. You see the reason why you have to make us your study abroad support system, right? And then we are doing this for you at no cost at all. Like I'll tell my students, you have absolutely nothing to lose. Our service is free, but okay, I'll chip this in. One thing we do require from our students is your loyalty as well, right? We want you to stick with us. We want you to let us help you, right? Some students would be talking to, an agent, and then you are talking to several other agents at the same time. You see, what this thing would cause is confusion at the end of the day. So here at Team Consultancy, we are not charging you for anything, but we just want your loyalty. We want your commitment with us. Help us to help you. I'm going to put it that way. Help us to help you, so that when we are doing all of these things for you, even you as a student, you are not confused at all, right? So moving forward, I'm going to give room for questions. If you have any question, you can drop it in the comments, and I'm going to answer your question. And before that, I'm also going to throw in a frequently asked question. I'm going to say those questions here, and I'm going to answer it. Although it is just one question, we have a lot of frequently asked questions from the students, but there is this very question that I think we a lot of people need to know the answer to this question, even though I feel like at this stage and age, everybody should already know the answer to this question, and you're not supposed to be asking any counselor this question. But then again, like I said, we do not assume that you know. So it is only right for me to throw this question here and then answer the question. So the question would be, what is the assurance that my visa would get approved? That is the student I get a lot from. That is the question I get a lot from the students, and I'm like, the assurance that your visa will get approved. Okay, so one way I'm going to answer this question is that nobody can guarantee you that your visa will get approved. Not me, not any other person. And if you have somebody that is telling you that, I'll tell you to run away from that person, because the person is lying to you, right? Nobody can give you that approval. Nobody can say that for sure that, oh, I know somebody at the UKVI, or I work with the UKVI. Nobody can tell you that. But one thing I can tell you for sure is that if you are doing the right thing, if you have done the right thing, if everything is done correctly, right? So you are sure that the outcome will be a success. You are sure that your visa will get approved, because you know you are not doing it blindly. You are not doing it without clarity. You are not doing it with, the wrong information. An example is working with an agency where you know that they are doing all the right things to make sure that your visa gets approved at the end of the day, because visa approval start from how you started. It start from the littlest things, right? From the way you choose your school, your course selection, and every other thing, down to your documents, right? So you need to be able to work with people that knows exactly what they are doing. And if you ask me, that is why we provide an end-to-end service. We are not just saying we will do application and get offer for you. No, we are doing it right from application down to visa application, just to ensure that we are successful, just to ensure that a student is successful at the end of the day. So one thing I can tell you is that we make sure that we have done all the right things for your visa to get approved. But that does not mean somebody somewhere is now, telling you for a fact that, oh, don't worry, it is going to get approved. It doesn't work that way, right? So make sure you work with the right people, and then the right person is right here in front of you. I'm bringing it to you now that at Team Consultancy, we do everything the right way to ensure that we are successful. Some things I would want to talk about again is common mistakes to avoid when you are trying to choose your school, when you are putting in application, is that you have to avoid school that does not, match with your academic profile. Right? There are some universities that that no matter the course you're doing from the school, it does not match with your profile. Imagine you that has not written IELTS before and you're submitting an application to a school where number one requirement they have is IELTS. What are you going to do? Right? So you have to put all of these things into consideration. Make sure that the school you are applying to matches with your, academic profile. And then you are not checking the specific course requirements for the course you want to study in a school. So the fact that school have they have different courses, and trust me, each of those courses have their own requirements. So you need to be sure that you are applying for a course, and then you know the specific requirement for that course, right? Another one is submitting weak or unverified documents. You are rushing because you are so much in a rush, and then you are just submitting documents that are not the right documents. And then the last one is waiting too late to start your process, to start your application process. So now, if you're looking at going for September intake, this is the right time to start. In fact, some smarter people have started earlier before now. But is it too late now? It is not too late to get started now. If you want to start your process, you're looking at going for September intake, and then you want to get started, please look at the comments, book a one-on-one session with us to get started with you. That is when you get to talk to our counselors, right? That is where we get to hear from you, you hear from us, and then we take it from there. Please start as soon as possible. If this is something you've been thinking about doing, please don't wait any longer. Don't say, oh, September is still several months away. Trust me, it will look like you're waking up tomorrow and it is already September here. Please start now so that you can avoid a whole lot of mistakes. So yeah, at Team Consultancy, don't forget I said our service is completely free. We do not have any service charge. So to wrap up my session today, I'm going to share a story. I'm going to share a story with you, as I just thought about it now to share this story because I know that this is going to help a student out there make a decision, right? It is going to help you do the right thing. So recently, I had a student, and the student came to me. I mean, I did what I know how to do best. I asked this student some questions, and I was able to recommend. This student is an HND student, and then the student wants, direct masters, right? I was able to recommend a school that accepts HND for direct masters. After my recommendation, I requested for the documents. This student does not even know how to submit documents. The documents he sent to me were badly scanned. I was a lot of back and forth to get clear document from the student. But I mean, this is what we do. I was patient with this student. I was patient and then explained everything to the student. So I submitted an application for this student and we got an offer. But the but with this student is that this student was at the same time applying to another school by himself, according to him. I don't know if it's another agency or he did it by himself, right? He said, oh, he applied to another school. That was after I had submitted an application because honestly, if you tell me you're working with, an agency, I'll just ask you an honest question. Do you really want to work with me, or you want to proceed with that agent you've been working with? Because I mean, we're not charging you for anything. I will not want at the end of the day you're now telling me, oh, it is time to proceed to pay your deposit, and then you're telling me you're ghosting me, or you're telling me you're no longer interested, right? That is not very good. So I try to have clear conversations at the very beginning, so we are on the same page and we know what we are doing. So we're back to my story. This student had already gotten an offer from another school and he proceeded to pay deposits. That's for the other school, while the student has ghosted me. I mean, this is common for some students, right? So I didn't say anything again. And then after like few weeks, the student now reached out to me that, oh, is my offer still available? I would want to proceed. I mean, this is for May intake. It's already too close. And what were you doing? So that was when the student had to explain to me that I'm so sorry I did this. I got an offer from this other school and then I paid deposit. So I said, what happened? And then the student said, he failed the precast interview, right? And he now said, I remember that you said your team are going to prepare me for precast interview, but this other, although I applied to this school myself, but somebody that was helping me, nobody gave me information. I had no idea what the precast interview was about and I failed. So now he has requested for a refund and he came back that, okay, even if September May intake is not going to be possible, I should reapply for September. He apologized and all of that. And I'm just there looking at him like, really? When I didn't even charge you a dime. So this brings me to telling you that you think it's just about getting an offer from a school. You think it's just about, oh, I just need to submit documents and then get an offer. Look at what happened to this particular student. He failed precast interview. So here at Team Consultancy, we have a dedicated team for that. We have a dedicated team that will prepare you for your precast interview. And when I mean prepare you, they are not just preparing you, no, they will prepare you. You would have a session where they explain everything you need to know about precast interview with that particular school. And after your preparation session, you are going to be having mock sessions, right? Where we have mock session with you to be sure you're ready to now do your interview with the school. If it takes us to have, 20 sessions with you, we don't even mind. We just want to be sure that you are good to go. We want to be sure that you've understood everything and then you can proceed to do this interview with the school before we allow you to do the interview. These are the things we do at Team Consultancy, honestly, and you don't want to be like the students. This student is going to have back and forth getting his refund, the emotional challenges and all of that. Do you understand? You don't want to go through something like that. So please, if you are coming to us, make sure you have already made up your mind to come to us, to want us to help you, so that at the end of the day we can both join hands together and then achieve success at the end of the day. Don't be like these students. Don't make that mistake before you are now coming to us, right? You can actually start your study abroad journey without without making mistakes first before you do the right thing. The reason for this weekly life clinic is just so that we explain part of these things so that nobody else is falling victim, nobody else is making the same mistakes again, right? So this would be the end of my live session today, and then maybe next week we're going to actually be talking about precast interview. But if you want to know anything about precast interview, you have to look out for me next week. Look out for our live session next week, and then be sure to be available by 11 a.m. to join the live session so you can understand everything precast interview and everything you need to know. Don't forget, our service is 100% free. We do not have any service charge. And if you're ready to work with us, there's a link in the comments where you can book a video counseling session, a one-on-one counseling session with us, and we'll be able to help you. So I'll say goodbye for now, and then you'll be seeing me again next week.